Okay, so let's talk about changes you make for your chronic illness. So I have interstitial cystitis, and I've had it for about 15 years. And one of the biggest changes I made having this chronic illness is within my job. So I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for 25 years, I think. And before I became a media specialist, I was an art teacher for a long time. So until like COVID quarantine. And one of the things about being a teacher is that there's limited access to the restroom, right? So I taught middle school art. My classes were 47 minutes long, and in between class change, I would go to the restroom. And my principal knew about my illness. He knew about my bladder condition, and that during class change, I probably wasn't standing at my door. I was most likely in the restroom. And that worked for a long time. But then during COVID, when I decided to change careers into being a media specialist, the first job I got as a media specialist was at an elementary school. And so you're talking about kindergartners through fifth graders. And I, as a media specialist, was on the specials schedule. So students came to me for specials. I did not have an assistant. Their teachers don't come with them, which they're not expected to. But it created a lot of stress in my day-to-day world and schedule because I could, I should say this. I had two restrooms, a boys and a girls, in my library. So that was fantastic. And so if I needed to use the restroom between classes or even during class, I could do that. Now, granted, fifth graders, I could pop into the restroom and pop right out, but I would not do that for kindergartners. I'm not leaving 5-year-olds. It's not safe. What if the fire alarm goes off? Like, no. And so if I needed to go to the bathroom, if it was an emergency, it meant I had to call someone or have the assistant principal come sit in the room for a minute. And all of these people were aware of my condition, but it was kind of embarrassing, to be honest, to be like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I didn't love it. So from the first year I was at the elementary school, I was looking for a position as a media specialist with high school or in middle school, because the classes aren't necessarily tied to you. Most of the time, if classes are coming to the media center, their social studies teacher or the English teacher is coming with them. You're doing something with them at the same time. And if I needed to use the restroom, I could do that. It took me 3 years before I was able to find a position at a high school. And there are, of course, pros and cons with this position. It is further away from my home, so it's a longer drive. But the stress I encounter during the day with having to go to the bathroom is so much less. So teaching elementary school, having usually 6 classes a day, I would go to the bathroom between each class. So I was usually going before the first class started, between every class, and then of course before I would leave to go home. So lots of bathroom. Now working here at a high school, I go 2, maybe 3 times during my work day. We do have block schedule here. I do have media assistants, and I have a yearbook class. So I do have students in here that I'm responsible for, but they're juniors, they're seniors. They know what to do if a fire drill happens. They know what to do if a lockdown happens. And I generally don't go to the bathroom while they're here in class, but I can if I need to. And the bathroom's not far away. I duck out, I come back, I tell them, hey guys, I'm going to the restroom. And they're old enough to do that. Do I love doing that? No. I want to be in here in case something happens. I want to be in here. But I have to balance out my health condition needs, my illness needs, with my day-to-day job. A lot of people with IC look for work from home jobs, and I don't blame them at all. I'm not in a position where that makes sense for me yet, and I'm close enough to retirement with the school system that I'm trying to definitely hack it out or make it to the end of my 30 years before I make any other significant changes. But the bathroom thing as a teacher is hard enough. The bathroom thing as a teacher with interstitial cystitis is also just so. Sometimes your illness changes your life. Sometimes you change your life for your illness. And it's just part of it. And I'm lucky that I was able to make this change. It was, 3 sort of stressful years at the elementary school, trying to figure it out and doing the best I could, and hoping not to have flare up and whatever. But this job at the high school is so much better for my anxiety level, my stress level, my illness. It's just better for me. So have you had to make changes like that for your chronic illness? I bet some people watching this will say, I had to quit my job and stop working at all. But that's what it is right now.